Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Grue Room. And for the Grue Room today, we got a very great guest. And I'm going to have her say her name when she comes in because I don't want to screw it up. And she is a pro wrestler. She has appeared on AEW and AEW Dark. And she's a very good wrestler. She won Wrestler of the Year. And I'm really looking forward to talking to her tonight about wrestling. And my interview with Reka is coming up next. I am Rocco Cross. I am the host of Stutters. I am the host of the Grue Room. And my interview is coming up. Okay, welcome to Grue, and thank you so much for taking time out and coming on and being a guest on the show today.
No, thank you so much for having me. I'm glad to be here. It's about time. Just kidding. No, thank you so much for having me here. It's definitely a pleasure.
Thanks. That's great. I like hearing that. Thank you.
Of course, anytime.
So, like, the first question I wanted to ask you is, like, what drew you to love the great sport of pro wrestling?
It's actually a pretty funny story. So I was born and raised in American Samoa. I moved to Utah when I was 12. So I pretty much have lived in Utah. I'm 26 now, so it's been a while since I've been back home. But back home, being raised in an island, we didn't really have much time, we didn't have time to watch TV and stuff like that because I was always just so busy being a kid, climbing coconut trees and doing what a kid would do. Yep. So sorry about that.
That's okay.
So I didn't really hear about wrestling or know anything about wrestling until I actually met my husband, Manny Smith. He goes by Manny Lemons. That's his working name. But nice. So 5 years ago, I met him and we got to know each other. And he was telling me he was a professional wrestler, and I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." So I was like, didn't even know anything about wrestling, and I was like looking it up on Google, and then I sent him a picture of a high school wrestling, and he was like, "Oh, not that type of wrestling, Hulk Hogan wrestling." I was like, "Oh, okay, I get it now." Like everyone knows Hulk Hogan, like we didn't really have TVs back then like learn, but everyone knew Hulk Hogan was like, anyway. So, I started traveling with him and I got to see how he taught so many children and so many fans, by just getting out there and doing what he loves to do. And just like that inspired me like a lot. I was like, wow. Cause like, I never was interested in wrestling, but I was always dedicated to supporting him in his dream and things like that. But growing up, I always like what I wanted to do as a profession was help people, in any way that I could, even if it was to end world hunger or anything like that. But the way that I seen him touch people's lives, it was just like, it was so inspiring to me. And I was like, wow, like I want to be able to touch people's lives like that, and if it was through wrestling, I was like, I think I might want to give it a chance. So it wasn't until 2 years ago, when I was kind of like, we were always traveling every weekend, and I was kind of like, and sometimes it was like on the weekdays too. So it was kind of tiring, and like I didn't really have much time to spend home and be with my family and stuff. I was like, you know what? I actually want to like start training to be a wrestler, if that was okay with you. And he's like, yeah. I was like, and the only reason why was because I wanted to spend more time with like him and my family. So he was like, okay, I can do that. So he opened up a school, and it was just only to train me, but he kind of put it out there, to let other people know around the area, if anyone was interested in training and stuff like that, that they're more than welcome to. So now it's a school / promotion. It's called Devotion Championship Wrestling, and it all started and I don't want it to my own home. But I mean, it all kind of started because of me, you know. But oh well, I don't say that a lot. But yeah, so I started the first time I took my bump, it was like, what the hell did I get myself into? And after that, like, I literally was training for 2 months, and I got put into a show. I was like, I think I'm ready, you know, let's just put me in there. At that time, like, they were starting to run shows, and I wasn't ready at the time. So but like every time I would sit there and watch, I was like, I wish that was me in the ring. Like, I feel like I'm ready to perform and be able to touch and inspire people. So when I made my debut, like, it was the most amazing feeling that I can't really explain. It was just kind of like, in my mind, I was like, I think I was meant for this, but I wasn't sure at the time, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
But it was just one of those things that I kind of had to learn, just because I was not very knowledgeable about wrestling. Like, Manny had to teach me, you know, like, so many things, like who certain wrestlers were, and what indie meant, and like things like that, just teaching me the knowledge of the business. And so I started traveling with him, and I got to perform, and like, the more I performed, like, the more I was comfortable being in the ring. And like, I just started noticing that, like, people were starting to notice me, like, fan wise, and like kids would come up to me, and they would, you know, tell me, oh, I want to be just like you when I grow up. And it was just like, oh my God, like, yes, like, okay. And so yeah, I mean, it wasn't like, I wasn't really sure if it was something that I wanted to do, but now I'm definitely for sure that it is something that I learned to be like. Wrestling, it was something, you know, just like every other, it was like a relationship. Like, I learned to fall in love with it. And so now, like, I can honestly say, like, I love wrestling, you know, I love the business, and I love everything about it. And I love inspiring and being able to touch little girls' hearts. And it's just, I don't know, but yeah, that's the story.
Hey, that's great. That's great. At least you found something you love doing now.
Oh yeah, definitely very passionate about it. I mean, it has gotten me, you know, a lot of opportunities. And also, like, being in the ring, like, it's a lot of people say, you know, especially wrestlers that I've spoken to, like, when they're in the ring, they can be themselves. And I didn't really know what that meant. I was like, well, you can be yourself. Like, you just have to own who you are, you know. But like, with me, when I'm in the ring, like, it comes natural, just because I have, like, so I'm a chill person in life. Like, if you meet me, I'm just like, I'm chill, whatever, you know, I'm down for anything. But like, once I'm in the ring, I can turn that hyper, like, chill person to 100. Like, I'm just like this crazy ass, like, I would rip your head off, you know what I mean? Like, if you piss me off, pretty much. And I mean, I'm like that, but it takes a lot to get me upset about the situation. But like, when I'm in the ring and I'm about to go against someone that I know, it's like, I think of everything that was like, oh, okay, well, I have a relationship with this person. Like, I know what you're capable of, but I can do better. You know what I mean? I can beat your ass in 2 minutes. Like, if you come at me the wrong way. I'm Polynesian. Like, you don't want to mess with my wrong side. But like, I just go full on out. Like, I don't even hold back. Like, when I'm in the ring, sometimes I kind of had to like lower it a little, but like, my coaches told me, no, like, it's good to do more than do less. So I'm like, okay, whatever. So I definitely get what, like, people mean by, like, you can be yourself in the ring. But to me, like, once I get in the ring, it's like go time. Like, I'm ready to kick some ass. Like, I'm meant for this. Like, let's turn up that savageness. So but yeah.
Nice. I like that.
Thank you.
So how did you wind up getting to be part of AEW?
So it was just kind of one of those things that like happened really quick. So I was saying, so we were in Utah, we were training, and me and Manny have a mutual friend who was traveling everywhere, just kind of trying to find himself and where, you know, he belongs and stuff like that. So he went down to the Nightmare Factory, and he was saying, I think you guys should come here, you know, and train here. They're, you know, this is a good school and stuff like that. And at the time, like, I wasn't really, you know, like, I was into wrestling, but I wasn't like fully into wrestling, and because I was still learning. And Manny was like, I feel like this is a good opportunity for you to learn a lot of things, because I can teach you so much, but like, it's different when, you know, you have actual like good coaches who know so much about like the business and things like that, and they can lead you. So we were supposed to move down to OVW because that was the first, you know, opportunity that came up, and we were gonna move down to Kentucky and train at OVW.
Oh, okay.
And just literally 2 weeks before, Manny came down to Atlanta. He trained at the Nightmare, and he called me, and he was like so excited, saying, this is where it's at, you know, like, I think this is the spot. Like, my heart is telling me we should move down here to Atlanta and train at the Nightmare Factory. And I was like, what are you talking about? We're supposed to move to OVW. Like, we're supposed to move to Kentucky and train at OVW. And he was like, I think this is where it's at. Like, you can always train, like, we can live in Atlanta, and in Kentucky is like 5 hours. So we can go back and forth if you want. So I was like, okay, you know, I'm trusting you in this. We'll do what you say. Like, I believe in you, whatever. So we literally moved down to Atlanta that week, and I was like, we literally just put whatever we could fit in our car and our 2 dogs, and just drove down to Atlanta. And it was one of those things that, you know, just like hop in the car and see where it takes you.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like, it was just so crazy. I was like, I can't believe we're doing this. We're leaving our whole life behind. Like, this is insane. Like, I don't know what the heck is going on, but it was just one of those things you just have to just do it or die, you know, like, thinking, what if? So got to the Nightmare Factory and started training there for a couple of weeks. And it was just one of those things that I couldn't explain how it was. It was just in my heart. It was like, this is where I was meant to be, but I didn't want to admit that
Yeah, exactly.
to Manny, just because like my pride is pretty high, where I'm like, okay, I can feel it, but I'm not going to tell you, you know. It was one of those things like, you're right, but I'm not going to tell you you're right, because I also want to keep my pride and say, but anyways, so started training there, and the opportunity just presented itself, and QT was training at the time, and he was my coach, and he was like, I have an opportunity for you. And this was like 5 months of training at the Nightmare Factory, and I was like, okay. And it was totally unexpected,
yeah,
you know, just because I was like, oh my God, you know, I was still learning. I love the learning part, because I've learned so much. And I was just more focused on the learning part. But when he told me that an opportunity presented itself against, and it was against Jade Cargill. And I was like, oh my God, like, that's a big name, you know, definitely. Like, especially for making a debut on AEW. And then I was like, okay, I was meant for this. Like, I literally had to sit down and take a breath and just like, you're okay. Like, didn't want to be too excited. But so I made my debut at the house show, the first house show that AEW had in Jacksonville.
Oh, okay.
And after that, the doors pretty much opened for me. And so they wanted me to keep coming down for TV after that debut. So it was a good sign, and I'm very humble and grateful for that opportunity, you know, because if it wasn't, I thank Jade for it, actually, because like, we were training together at the time. So like, our coaches seen us like train together. So they're like, okay, well, you guys are gonna, if you're gonna make your debut, why not make it, make your debut against someone that you know. So it made me very comfortable. And so after that, like, it was history from there on out. I mean, I'm still, grateful and happy, because if we didn't make the move, and if we didn't just, hop in the car and be crazy people and drive down here, like, I wouldn't be here right now, so
right.
it was great. It was awesome. Like, still to this day, I've done so much in just 9 months than I have ever done in 2.5 years. Well, 2 and 3 months, that I've been in the industry. So
wow,
definitely very, very excited. But yeah.
I mean, Jade is someone to have a good first match, but like, she is big and tall, like muscle and,
Oh yeah.
and tall.
Oh yeah.
She's good though. She wrestles good.
Yeah, she's the woman. Jade is a freaking star. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Every time I see her, I'm like, God, sometimes I just look at you and I'm like, you're an idol. Like, I tell her, she's actually one of my good friends, and I'm always just like she helps me, like, every time. She's my hype person. So every time I'm about to go perform, like, I'm like, all right, Jade, tell me what I need to hear. Like, just like, get out of your head. Like, you're gonna do great. You're meant for this. Like, she is an amazing person. Like, she may rip people's heads off in the ring, but she's such an amazing person in real life. So I'm grateful to have her.
Yeah, because like you work a lot of matches for AEW Dark, and like, out of all your bouts on the Dark, like, who do you think was your best match yet?
There was a few. I would say Velvet. When I came back to TV after the house show, it was against Red Velvet on AEW Dark.
Nice.
And there was just Red Velvet is so amazing. Like, she is such a good wrestler, where whoever she gets in the ring with, like, she's able to have a good match with them. And so once I got in the ring with her, I just felt completely comfortable. Like, it was one of the weirdest things ever. Like, she brought the best out in me in the ring, even though it was a really short amount of time, but like, that short amount of time, she was able to just bring out, like, what I was made of. And so that was one of my favorite matches. The other one is against Sheeta a few months ago. She was also, I don't know, like, when you get in the ring with someone, like, you definitely know if you have ring chemistry with them. And like, she was one of them, just because she also brought the best out of me. Like, I feel like I can definitely have a good match with someone if we bring the best out of each other. And I think we were able to do that for one another. So that was something I was excited about. But I feel like all the matches I've had on AEW Dark, everyone, all the females on there were just so amazing, so kind, and just, good workers for sure.
Oh, definitely. And is there anyone you would love to work a bout with there?
I'm sorry?
Is there anyone? Is there anyone you would love to work there? Like, any wrestler you would love to step into the ring with?
Brittany Baker, I think. I think that would be an intense match if we ever go against each other, just because I feel like me and her have sort of that sassiness, you know what I mean? That savageness inside of us, and just like the intensity of it. The more I think about it, like, just because I know, like, Brittany Baker is a very intense, like, wrestler. So I would love to get in the ring in the ring with her and have a good match, and I think that would be awesome.
Nice. And what have you liked best so far about being part of AEW Dark? Because you work on both darks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So what is my favorite part about being part of AEW?
Yeah.
Just how the people are very supportive of each other. I just AEW is a really amazing company to work for, just because like everyone there is just so nice and just always so supportive of and positive, and always pushing, one another to be the best that they can. And I feel like that's very important, especially in any business, is having that support system where, not only your coaches are there to support you, but also your peers. And I feel like that AEW does support that everyone, like Tony Khan and all the coaches and all the wrestlers there, do really care about like each other. And I think that means more to me than anything, because like if you walk into a business and it's just, you can just feel the energy in the air, and walking into AEW, every time I go to TV, you can just feel that happy, positive, like everyone is just happy there, and they just want to put on a good performance, and that's important to me.
Yeah. I mean, like, I love watching that league, like AEW Dark and AEW on television. And
Right.
you're right. Like when you watch the 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 people there, wrestlers there, you can see like they have fun what they're doing. Like nothing's forced and
Yeah.
nothing's like
Yeah.
scripted. And
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And it's, we're entertainers. And at the end of the day, like, we are allowed to have fun. And I can
exactly.
honestly feel like I can do that. I'm able to do that with AEW since I've been there. I'm able to have fun. I'm able to be myself, and I'm able to entertain the fans. And that's really important to me, is like that I can be able to do all of that, and it feels like I'm not even working. I'm just doing what I love to do now. And I don't know, it's just a really great environment to be part of. That's for sure.
Sweet. And like, what other wrestling leagues do you work for besides them?
So there's a promotion out here in Atlanta. It's called Southern Honor. It's one of the biggest promotions out here in Atlanta.
Oh wow.
There's Wrestle America. There's Lariato. Me and Maddie do come back to Utah every other month to run our own promotion. So there's so many promotions I've done so far, and also like the Nightmare Factory started traveling as well.
Oh
They've
really?
had a few shows. Yeah, they've had a few shows in North Carolina. So whenever I don't have like a booking or anything like that, like I'm able to go on the road with them and
Oh
perform
wow.
and stuff like that. So yeah, it's been crazy since we made the move. We haven't really had time to sit down and relax, but hey, I'm not complaining. Like, I'm riding the roller coaster,
Right.
as much as
Right.
I can. There's no slowing down right now. I think things are just getting started for me. So I'm just fortunate and definitely humble and grateful for everything, because I mean, what if I just said, no, I don't want to move? I would be still here. I wouldn't really
Yeah, that's true.
be
You're right.
serious. So I'm definitely grateful that Manny's like, get in the car, we're leaving. You know what I mean? So yeah, a lot like has happened so far in such a short amount of time since we made the move. So I'm just amazed and grateful. Like, I can literally sit down and pretty much write a book about what an experience it's been
Mhm.
in the last 9 months since I've been here. So I'm just like, but one of these days, I'm still riding the coaster. I'm still learning. I'm still
Oh yeah.
happy. I'm excited for the future plans and everything that's going to be happening. And I'm just going with the rep, just riding with the wave. So yeah.
Sweet. And how's your like training and dieting like? Because I mean everyone knows like when you wrestle you have to be in like really good conditioning.
Yeah, so I train Monday through Thursday,
Oh wow.
and sometimes on the weekend, if I don't have a booking, I'll just go in and I'll get a group of people together and go train. So I train from 5 p.m. to 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning sometimes.
Wow.
And then yeah, it's a lot of training, but
That's a lot of
I love it.
training.
Yeah, it is a lot of training, but I'm just like, I love it. But my diet is kind of off and on sometimes.
Okay.
I think my genetics, just because I mean, you don't often see, like very skinny Polynesian sometimes, and I feel like I'm too skinny for being Samoan. So, but thank God for my mom's genetics, because like
Right.
there's 5 of us, and it's just me and my sister who are very thin.
Oh
And
wow.
so the rest of my family, every time we get together, they're always like, you guys need to you guys need to start eating more. But we eat, that's the thing, like we eat the same amount as them, but like we still are skinny, like we just can't help it. So when I know, right? So when I'm here in Atlanta, I you know, rice and chicken or rice and beef.
Okay.
But on the so I make Friday like my cheat day. So
Nice.
I'll eat something unhealthy, but then that's the thing, I'll eat something unhealthy, and then I'm just like the next day I'm just like, oh my God, like I wanna eat something unhealthy again. So it's just kind of off and on. But when I'm here in Utah, it's like I see my family and they make all this food, and I'm just like,
Mhm.
oh my God, like I won't be able, like by the time I go back to Atlanta, I've gained a few pounds, I feel like. But but yeah, it's an off and on diet, but I mean, as long as I'm consistent with going to the gym,
Yeah.
and still staying active, I feel like it kind of balances it out.
Yeah,
If I
exactly.
have a cheat day, then I'll go
Exactly.
to the gym and try to burn it off, and so yeah.
A- and when you actually eat your cheat food, what kind of food do you like for your cheating food?
Um, so I'm a very snacky person. So I have a bad habit of snacking on like chips and, sometimes chocolates and things like
Okay.
that. But like, if I had to choose a cheat meal, like I would like stuffed crust supreme pizza
Nice.
from Domino's, sometimes Pizza Hut. So yeah, it's really bad, but I can't help myself sometimes. So I'll be like, okay, I'll eat rice and chicken, for lunch, but then dinner I'll have my cheat meal.
Yeah.
And then I end up eating my cheat meal, and I'm just like over here snacking on other things at the same time. So it's not just like eating one cheat meal, it's like several, just like everything else around me. So yeah, me got to make the best of my cheat meal, why not
Right.
add some sides? So enjoy
Right.
it more.
Nice.
But yeah.
Uh, by being by doing what you do for wrestling, like you travel different places, which place do you like going to the most? Like where do you like to visit?
Where do I like to visit? So I'm a very adventurous person. I love going everywhere. I like seeing different sceneries and things like that. Um, so far, I mean, I love Florida,
Hmm.
uh, but I haven't really. adventure, like on an adventure and explored more of Florida, just because when we're down there for tapings, like we're in Jacksonville.
Yeah, exactly.
But I've been to Miami, Miami part, not for wrestling, but for vacation. So I
Oh,
definitely
nice.
like that. Been to California. I mean, I was born and raised on an island, so like I love like trees. I love like the ocean, you know.
Hmm.
So like that's a big thing for me. Like when the first time I went to Jacksonville, like I was able to go to the beach. I mean,
Oh,
the water
nice.
was cold at the time, but like just having my feet touch like the sand, it just like reminded me of home. I haven't been back home to the island since I moved here, so
Oh,
it was
wow.
just like one of those amazing feelings. I was like, wow, like that was the first time I felt sand in a very, very long time. So that was cool. I actually have a signing here in October in New York. That was actually New York is on my list. I've always wanted to go to New York.
Okay.
Um, I've seen Sex and the City, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So girls want to go explore. So I'm pretty excited for that. I'm looking forward to that. Like I heard the food is amazing out there. And so that's also like one of my things is like if I go to a new state, if I go travel, like I always want to try like different dishes and try different restaurants and see what like that city is known for.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I just like to try new things.
Yeah, definitely. And
So far, like everywhere I've traveled, like there's always like something that I liked about every single place that I've been to. So
oh,
it's been
nice.
cool.
Nice. And like Polynesian food, like what's like a great dish to eat?
So Poly- Polynesian food. My family is really big on seafood,
Okay.
so you can make so many dishes. But if you have those crab legs on the table, just know that it's gonna be gone before anyone else like would have some. Um, yeah, so like see anything from the sea, like the ocean, like
Hmm.
it's gone. Like me and my mom, like she's so obsessed with like shrimp, like crab legs, like anything
Okay.
like from the ocean. And I think that I inherit that. So like when Manny asks me like, what do you want? You know, like if I'm feeling seafood, like I'm going out on seafood. You know what I mean? And that's pretty much almost like every day. And it's a very expensive like
Yeah,
addiction to have to be buying seafood all the time. But like
exactly.
you know, but we make a lot of amazing dishes. Like if we have like a big event, like our family it tends to roast pigs
Oh,
and
nice.
just go full out, even if it's just like a birthday. Like I'm talking about, like my family will make a feast like that will last you for a whole month pretty much. So can never go wrong. And that's also like a thing too, is like my family would always try to feed me, and they're like, you can't leave the table until you finish your food. It's like I'm eating as much as you guys. Like you guys are getting up and leave. Like I'm over here getting like 2-3 servings. Like I think I'm pretty good.
Right,
But yeah,
exactly.
it's no, it's amazing. Like I try to cook Polynesian food, but it doesn't taste like my mom's cooking sometimes. So
Okay.
when I come to Utah, I always get excited to go to her house because it's just like she cooks it in a way where it just feels like home. So
Nice. Nice.
so yeah.
And like my show and my site like deal a lot with like horror films. And whenever I have a guest on, I always ask them, do you
Mhm.
like horror movies? And if you do, what are some horror movies you like to watch?
Oh my gosh, yeah. So I'm obsessed with horror movies. Like
Really?
I used to be so scared of horror movies, like growing up, but now
Okay.
that I'm an adult, like I can actually like sit through a horror movie sometimes and don't get scared. But the one of the movies that's gotten me so far is like The Conjuring. The
Yes. Yes.
Conjuring. I feel like that could, make me piss my pants. Uh, I haven't seen the new Conjuring that came out, but I definitely do want to see it just because I feel like it's just so good.
It's
Like everything,
it's
all the
really
Conjuring
good. I
movies.
saw it. It's
Yeah,
really good.
don't
Yeah.
spoil it for me.
I'm not.
Don't spoil it for me. I'm excited. Like I haven't had time to like sit down and watch it, but like I need to make time. Probably tomorrow.
Okay.
Probably tomorrow. I feel like I have some time, before I go to training and stuff like that. So I'm just gonna peek on it and just I need to. I need to.
There you go.
I get excited. Sorry.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
yeah, Conjuring is like one of my top favorite
nice.
horror movies. What about you?
Nice. Well, I love those. Yeah, but like my favorites are like old school horror, 80s like kind of horror,
Mm,
like
okay.
like the Freddy, Jason, Michael,
Mm,
Chucky, and all that.
yes, yes, okay, yes. No, I actually have a friend who is a wrestler. He is into the old school horror movies too. And so
Nice.
like I would sit down and like watch it with him, and he would like send me memes and all this other stuff. And I was just like, oh my God, okay. But no, those are awesome. I love those too.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward. They just put the trailer out for Halloween Kills. The
Mm,
and it looks really good. And Michael Myers is like brutal in this trailer. Like in like the first
yeah.
minute of the trailer, you see him killing like 20 people.
Oh my God. That's awesome. That's freaking awesome. When is it out?
I think October. I think it's like the 8th or something like that.
Did you get your tickets yet?
I didn't know, but I'm definitely going to because Halloween series is one of my best series out of like all the horror films, and and,
Huh?
and then and then they even put another trailer out. They're making a TV series out of Chucky.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I heard about that. That's freaking awesome.
Yeah,
You're
like
gonna enjoy that, huh? You're like, I'm so excited.
I am like, oh my god, I have to wait 2 months to see Chucky and Michael.
You're like, I have to wait 2 months. Can't they just speed up the process? Like some of us want to see it already.
Exactly.
You gotta let me know. I'm sure it'll be good, but like let me know if it's, worth going to the movie theaters and seeing it, or should I just wait until it comes out on Netflix? God, I sound so cheap right now. I'm like, I was waiting for The Conjuring to come out on Netflix. So I was like, it's gonna be a while, so I might as well just pay the $19.99 for it.
Right.
Watch it in my own comfort of my home. But now I'm just like being cheap and like, hey, let me know. I got that Netflix account. It's not my account, but hey, I don't have to pay for it.
Right. There you go.
Oh man, that's awesome.
And what about like songs and stuff? Like what kind of songs do you like listening to?
So I definitely don't like the hip hop like style nowadays. But
Okay.
if I listen to any music, I listen to the 2000s
Yeah.
song, like the old ones, like Beyonce,
Yeah.
Jay-Z, Jason Derulo, all those guys. I grew up listening to them. My favorite artist is Rihanna. I'm a big
Okay.
fan of Rihanna.
Okay.
I love her. Yeah, like I tell people if I ever meet, like I only have two people I want to meet in this world. That's The Rock and Rihanna. I mean, everyone wants to meet The Rock, but
Well, yeah, of
like,
course. But like you actually have like a better chance of meeting Rock because of you
yeah,
share the
being
same kind of
Samoan.
blood.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just like hoping someone's gonna reach out to them. Hey, did you see Reka Tehaka? I feel like you guys might be related, long lost cousins or something from your mom's side. So I'm like, I it's so funny. I'm like asking my mom if like she knows like The Rock's mom and stuff like that. And it's just so funny just because I just like, yeah, can you just tell me, we're related somehow,
Right.
the bloodline, so I can just like, hey, The Rock, so I just heard we're cousins. Can we meet up or
Right.
something?
Yeah, exactly.
So I know, I'm so crazy. One of these days, though. One of these days.
Hey, you never know it. Like that could very well happen. Like if you ever see him at like an autograph signing or something, say, "Hey, I got the same blood."
Right? I wouldn't even. I already planned it out in my head. I'm just gonna, if I ever see him, I'll just go. I'll just kind of like, because I'm, again, too like really skinny for being Polynesian, so I'll just like show my sleeve and just like start speaking to him in Samoan and
Yeah,
see like if
exactly.
he's gonna react some type of way. And I'll be like,
Yes,
so
yes.
just to let you know, we're cousins. We're cousins. He'll be like, get away from me, crazy lady. Security. He probably gets that a lot, though. He probably just like
probably does,
has so many people like, hey. But it's so funny. I try to keep up with Young Rock.
Oh yeah, yeah, it's a good show.
And oh yeah, and everything like his story and stuff. I thought, I'm like, wow, not like that's kind of like my story, not really, but like I can understand when the grandma is like yelling at him in Samoan and stuff. I thought, I was like,
Oh wow.
hey, there's my grandma.
Oh my
yelling
God.
at me to go get my chores done and before she comes and beats my ass and stuff. But yeah, that's so funny.
Wow. Okay. And where can fans find you at? Like, what's your social medias and all that?
They can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook under Reka Tehaka. If they want to watch any of my matches on YouTube, they can just also look up Reka Tehaka. We're on Fight TV here at Devotion Championship Wrestling. We're on Fight TV. We're on Amazon Prime. So our product is, pretty much out there.
Okay.
Also, my AEW matches are on YouTube as well. So they can pretty much find me anywhere, social media, YouTube, whatever social media, we have nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
so
that's
like
it.
you aren't one of the people that goes on the TikTok, right?
Oh, I do have a TikTok, but like I don't even know how to use it. I'm so old. Like I can't even catch up anymore. Like I'm just like, my stepson has a TikTok and I'm like, how do you know how to use this better than I do? Like I don't even, like I try to do those dances and it literally takes me about a day to learn how to learn a 5-second like dance. Like I just like, I'm so off. And even if I'm like recording it and doing it, I'm just like, I look so awkward and I'm like, I can't even do it. No, like it's not for me. Like, if I do it, it'll just be like a video of my match or something like that, me body slamming someone.
Okay.
But you won't see any videos of me dancing or doing anything crazy on there just because it's not my style.
Gotcha.
I do have Cameo, but so I do shout out for anyone's birthday or for a big fan or anything like that. So it's under Reka Tehaka as well. But I think that's about it. I don't have anything crazy. There's so many like different apps and different like social media like platform nowadays. I can't even like keep up with them anymore.
Exactly.
I'm like Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, I think is the big deal right now. So I'm like, I'll just stick with those.
Okay.
Takes up. I mean, if you download too many apps, it'll just take up too many storage on your phone.
Exactly. That's what
I won't be able to watch my scary movies and watch my Netflix because that's very important. I gotta make room for that. So
yes, exactly.
Oh man, I'm glad you can agree because I thought I was the only one who was having these kind of issues.
No. Like I'm a major horror fan.
Oh, I know you are. So keep me updated on all these the horror movies that's coming out. Because
yes, definitely. And I'll I'll tell you which ones are worth going to the theater and which ones are worth waiting on Netflix.
Netflix for yes, yes, please do. That'll be freaking awesome. That will save me a lot of time than trying to get dressed and go to a movie theater because I want to watch this so badly. And it turns out it's like, oh my god, okay, I guess I should have just waited. But I'm a home person, so like whenever I get a chance to be home and stay home, like I would literally just sit in one spot in my bed and just like stuff my face and just watch TV the whole time. Like people ask me, they're like, what do you do for fun? I'm like, stay at home, watch TV. Like any chance I can get like to rest, like I would just sit there and just like do absolutely nothing and just watch TV. That's what I like to do for fun. My early 20s, I had my fair share of partying and going out and
of course,
doing crazy shit. But now
of course,
I think I'm
you're
getting
in your
up
20s.
there. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm kind of like in my, would you consider 26 like 20s? You know what I mean? Like I've experienced all that crazy stuff when I had a fake ID when I was 18, for goodness sakes. Like the fake ID, the picture on it didn't even look like me, and they would just let me in the bar. So I was like, okay, cool. So I got to experience that wildlife like when I was pretty young.
Nice.
So now I'm like, now I get to enjoy what being old feels like. Just kidding. Just watching Netflix all day. Even like people that are older than me, they're still going out. They're still partying till 5 o'clock in the morning.
Oh,
and they're
I know.
like, hey,
I know. You see that when you go out. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, they're like, let's go out. Oh my gosh. You have no idea how many excuses I have to come up with to not even go out. Like, I can't even, like, I get lazy just getting up to go use the bathroom and they want me to go out with them. I'm like, it's past my bedtime, it's 10 o'clock. I think this is when I'm calling it. And you know what's so crazy? Even if I do end up going out, like I just like will go out, so I don't drink or smoke or anything like that.
Oh, okay.
So like I would go out and I would just sit there. They're having a blast. I would drink my Red Bull, and and then I would just start yawning. Like it's just like I can't even hold my own. Like I just get so tired to the point where like, come on, let's go party. I'm like, yeah, I'll party from here. Like, you're good. Like, I'll get up, I'll dance for a second, and I'm like, I think I'm ready to go home. I think I'm ready to turn in, guys. And like, you're party people. I was like,
I'm sure that's what they say.
I don't care. You guys probably have kids that are waiting at home for you. Like, you guys are out here living your life. But oh well. It's all good. It's all good.
Oh yeah.
That's my life, Freya.
No,
Whatever chance I get, I'll just relax.
Well, when Halloween Kills come out, I'm definitely gonna go see that in the theater. So I'll tell you, I'm going like the first day. The first day it comes out, I'm going. So I'll definitely tell you if it's worth going to the theater or not.
Okay, sounds good. I mean, like, again, like I have a friend who's exactly like you who loves horror movies. Like I wouldn't be surprised if like you or him would message me like, oh my god, and start telling me about it. I'm like, no, wait. Let me see it myself.
Right.
But yeah, definitely let me know. I'm looking forward for it. Are you dressing up for Halloween?
I do every year.
Oh my god, that's awesome. What do you dress up as? Do you dress up as like different
different horror characters, or one time I was dressed like Kane.
That's awesome. Oh my god. Do you have pictures of these on your Instagram or social media or what?
I should definitely put them up, right?
You should.
I know.
You should. Halloween is coming pretty close. You should start doing it like every week you'll have like, one of your old costumes or when you used to dress up, like, guys, help me figure out what I'm going to dress up for this year. Or you already have something in mind.
No, I'm still trying to think what I want to be yet. Like I don't have any idea. Like last Halloween I couldn't go out because of COVID, but this year definitely doing something. So I don't know what yet, but definitely want to do something.
I'm sure you'll get an idea after you watch the movie when it comes out in October. You're like, okay, I got it.
Right? Exactly.
I would love to see these pictures though. So you should send
Okay.
it, and I'm like, okay, hell yeah.
Yeah,
I love that.
definitely.
I love
Yeah,
it when people.
I'll find.
Sorry, go
I'll
ahead.
find. Oh, sorry. I'll find some of my costumes and send them.
Yes, please do. I love when people dress up. Like I love Halloween, but I'm just like, I don't even know what I want to dress up. I'll just look like homeless and I'll just go out, with the kids. Like the only thing I'm like, yeah, go get some candies. And then like that's the exciting part is seeing people in their costumes, and I'm over here dressing like a homeless person eating like the children's candies. Like I'm that person. Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
And the kids will come back and like, where did all our candies go? I'm like, some monster came and like took your
Someone took
candies.
them.
I'm sorry. Like I look homeless, so they robbed me for your
Right.
candies. Damn
Exactly.
it. I'm sorry. But that's awesome.
Yeah. Oh
Do you
man.
have any more questions for me?
No. Like I was just gonna say like thanks for taking time out and coming on the show.
No,
And
thank you so much for having me. This was awesome. I actually had fun.
yeah,
It's not
this
every
this is
day.
so much fun.
It's not every day I get to just be myself on
Mhm.
podcast and just let loose and stuff. So this was definitely an awesome opportunity. Thank you for letting me be my craziness and yeah.
Thank you. Like that was awesome. I love seeing crazy sides.
Well, that's Reka Tehaka for you. You can never meet Reka Tehaka without seeing her crazy side or anything like that. So
There you go. Okay.
and now we learn we have so much in common. So
Yes,
expecting those
definitely.
pictures, and I'm expecting you to inform me when you go watch the movie
Oh
and
yeah.
keep me updated on the new horror films that are coming out, because I would definitely.
Every
When I watch the new Conjuring, I'm gonna let you know what I think of it.
Yeah, definitely do. Cause like I watch it and I actually did like it. Some people didn't, but I actually did. So I definitely want to hear what you think of the film.
Okay, I will. And then we can go back and forth on some of the things if I'm like, or if I'm
Yeah,
like, oh my God,
exactly.
And so
Exactly.
if I have any ideas of like what your costume should be too, I'll definitely let you know
Oh my God,
some ideas.
yes, definitely do. Yes.
Okay. Well, yeah.
All
Well,
right.
if there isn't anything else, I gotta head to training.
Okay. Well, have a good training session and
Thank you so much. I appreciate
drink a
it.
lot
Thank
of
you again
water,
for
right?
having me. Got it right here, so don't worry about that.
All right.
All right. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you later. You have a
Definitely.
great day.
You too.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye bye.